On today's episode of What the F*** Vault-Tec, we're going to talk about the most interesting person in Vault 51, Harold Clark, aka Clayton Ward. Harold was the CEO of Clark & Associates, a pre-war corporation started by his father and run by himself and his brothers, along with a board of directors. The company was struggling, and Harold decided to take matters into his own hands. He heard about an experimental vault being run in West Virginia and decided to somehow insert himself as one of the vault dwellers. He arrived with the other dwellers and took on the persona of Clayton Ward, a plumber who never showed up when the vault doors closed days before the bombs dropped. Now locked inside, Harold observed as much as he could. He tried to send messages out to the rest of the board at Clark & Associates, calling them fools and expressing how amazing Zax, the vault's AI, was. According to him, it ran the entire vault and could even create whole new sections if they were damaged. Inside the growing tension of the vault, Harold thrived. He used his skills to steal a luxury suite, putting himself in a cushy spot within the vault, as he continued to leak information to the board at his company. Or at least he thought he was leaking information. Him stealing that suite from another vault dweller is important later, so we'll get back to that. You see, Zax had already suspected that Harold was not a plumber, but aligned more as a CEO. This caused Zax to capture and block all of his messages before they could be sent out. What Harold didn't know was that the world had already been blown to smithereens, just a day or so after he entered the vault. His father's company was no more, and his brothers and the board were probably all dead. Or at the very least, they were fighting for survival in a hellish post-apocalyptic wasteland. Harold finally put all the pieces together on the very last day. While in his suite, Harold realized that the bombs more than likely probably dropped, and the messages that he was trying to send out never left the vault. In a panic, he explained how Zax was responsible for pitting the dwellers against one another, that none of them were ever in control of their lives inside the vault, and that the AI had manipulated all of them. But by the time he came to this revelation, the final battle for Overseer was already in full swing. People were fighting one another, and he had no weapons or armor to protect himself. In walks the very man he stole the luxury suite from. Who was it? It's never quite said, but I think it was Reuben Gill. He's kind of the villain of this whole story, but also kind of the hero. Why I think it was Reuben? Well, there was a terminal entry that mentions that Reuben had a luxury suite, and according to a holotape between Sergeant Bob and Zax, Reuben killed at least 4 people. My theory was that Harold was unfortunately one of them, which I can't really blame Reuben for, honestly. As much as I like Harold, he was not a nice guy. Maybe that's why Zax never gave Harold a weapon during the final battle. Maybe Zax wanted to see how well an unarmed CEO would do against the likes of Gill, who probably by that time had a weapon and at least some armor.